from, there we go. So if this is your first time on the call, guys, this call is just a personal development mindset call where we really focus on just growing ourselves every single day of the week. And a lot of people, this is the space that we really don't put a lot of emphasis on. We just get up and go. We go to work, we go to school, we fuss at the kids, and we don't spend enough time in developing ourselves. Anybody ever been in that space before where you've been so busy, you've been on the go? We don't even make it to doctor's appointments. I used to work so much, I didn't even make no doctor's appointments. Ironically, I work for a doctor's office. But you want to be able to take the time and slow down and be able to really focus on where you're going and really have that self-growth, that self-development, because what begins to happen is you're not growing and you begin to neglect those things in your life. And I know we talk about how we speak pretty often, guys, but we really have to make sure we continue to build on that skill set, to build on that level of consciousness, because what begins to happen is we're going to be able to transition or create that word to thought reality, that word to flesh reality, all right? So to think is to speak, and your thought is your word, okay? To think is to speak, and your thoughts are your word, all right? So are your thoughts pleasant? Okay, are your thoughts pleasant? Are they sweet as honeycomb? Are they sweet to the soul? Are they healthy to the bones? I remember I went to the Belief convention, and we had a neuroscientist up there, and she was sharing how your words are also causing self-affliction. All right, that's the topic I'm going to use tonight, which is self-affliction. So if you're not using the right language, if you're not careful of what you're saying, you're going to be able to cause pain. All right, and that's actually like literal pain. You're going to have headaches. So how many people y'all know got high blood pressure? Right? How many people y'all know have been stressed before, get migraines? How many people know they're dealing with so many different things in their life that they begin to feel depressed, they're stressed, they're tired, they're completely exhausted, they're completely fatigued, they cuss everybody out left and right because they don't have any patience. Why? Because they have been used up. If you've been there before, you know somebody that's been there before, drop some ones in the chat box for me. All right. If you've been there before, know somebody that's been there before, drop someone. You just feel tired, right? Sometimes we overcommit, and that also causes frustration. It causes things to happen. And so we begin to not operate in a level of consciousness. We begin to become reactive, right? Because we are irritated. Anything that somebody does to frustrate us, we got a word for them, right? I've been there before, listen, I don't want to talk to you right now, right? So you may have some type of expression, and you don't mean to hurt somebody's feelings, but that's just how you're feeling. So we have to be very, very aware of how we feel. We talk about feelings so much because as you begin to study more the word, you begin to study more personal development, they always talk about guard your feelings. All right, because your senses are going to create your thoughts. So if you're not feeling well, right, then your thoughts are not going to be well, and you're going to have this boomerang effect. You're not feeling good. You're going to speak bad. That bad comes right back into your spirit and begins to deteriorate your bones, deteriorate your muscles, deteriorate your joints, and deteriorate every single thing in your life, your goals and your dreams, right? Power of the subconscious mind. There we go, right? So what words are you speaking? Are they sweet to the ear, right? Are your words sweet to the ear? Let me tell you what words are not sweet to the ear, all right? I can't get ahead. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if that's possible. You are already instilling doubt. Your doubt. There's a story I told a minute ago about the rabbit and the tortoise. Your doubt, catch this, cannot be the tortoise, and it cannot be the rabbit. Your doubt takes off first and it finishes. Woo-hoo. Come on, V. Your doubt can't be the tortoise and the hare. It can't start off ahead of faith, and it cannot finish before faith. You have to choose sweet words, family. I'm too old. I don't have a chance. I can't. I don't have no money. I cannot afford this. This is outside of my budget. I don't have the experience. I don't have the education. I don't have the knowledge. I've tried. It's no use. That's too long. We're all guilty of it. A lot of times it's just from programming, the things that we watch, the words that we see. I sit here and watch my nephew, and I being so conscious, if you will. Right now, I understand the power of consciousness, because when you're truly conscious, you begin to control what you think about subconsciously. Somebody get that later. All right. But when you're mindlessly operating, you have no control. I posted on social media today, your thoughts are always creating, regardless if you are intentional about thinking or not. Your thoughts are always creating. But you have to make sure they're constructive and not destructive. Do they lift you up? Do they inspire? Do your words decree? And understand that your words do have declaration, and everything that you're going to speak is going to have a reality. It's going to, the words you speak are going to become flesh. And when God gave us flesh, it also came with bones. It came with muscles. It came with a heartbeat. So what you have to understand is the words you speak are going to be able to live. They're going to have a heartbeat. They're going to have flesh. They're going to have bones. So you got to be careful what realities that you're speaking into your life. The words you speak must be pleasant to the bones, which means your speech must exalt you, thrill you, and make you happy, right? Not just your bones, literally, but your symmetry, your environment, right? Your support system. Your speech must sustain and strengthen you. If we go back to the I can't, I don't know how, it's hard, I'm frustrated, I'm sick, I'm tired. That is so programmed. And most people don't even realize that that's their second nature. Right? We always say, I want to get this to the point where it's just second nature to me. Did anybody ever ask what first nature is? See, that's where that programming comes in. What we're so used to saying second nature, but what in the world is first nature? I've never thought of that to this moment. First nature, y'all finna be so excited when y'all hear what first nature is. Especially, y'all ready for this? First nature is a non-human world. As it existed prior to the long period of human transformation and destruction of a natural environment. So they say first nature, it's not even a lot of definitions for first nature, like everybody don't know, right? But we know when we hear in the word second nature, we know, we understand. Our goal is to make that something that's so deeply ingrained in our mind, in our skill set, that it becomes subconscious, right? The goal is to get it all to become subconscious. So your speech must sustain you, must strengthen you guys, even when the environment, even when your eyesight, your senses, when they see the bank account, we know it's a fact that your bank account is not where you want it to be. We know it's a fact that you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, materially, socially, all of these areas in your life may have facts. The environment may not be the best, right? But we understand the power of our speech and the power of our faith when backed by feeling, guys. It can begin to decree, strengthen us, and put us in a forward motion, and we'll be able to heal, prosper, live in harmony, peace, joy, and live in this space that we want to. It's hard for a lot of people to understand how to balance faith versus truth. It's hard for people to balance that because their second nature is facts and not truth. And somebody's lost. Well, facts are the things that you see with your eyes, right? Man, I don't know if I can really do this. I don't know if I can take on this new skill set because I don't have the money in my bank account. But if their second nature was God, if their second nature was spirit, if their second nature was faith, then it doesn't matter. Guys, I have been in situations, and still today, there are situations that I'm in where I have to face the facts with truth. I got to face the facts with truth. But what most people do is face the facts with senses. There's two ways you have to use your senses, either constructively or destructive. So you have to face the facts with truth and not your senses, because what most people do is they manipulate their senses to be an enemy. They manipulate their senses to become an enemy, right? Phone slipping off the darn stand, right? So that's what y'all have to understand. You are in total control. See, there's this little, does anybody know what the proper term is with the puppet and the person that controls the puppet? Does anybody know what that is? I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what it is, okay? But the puppet master, okay?
It's called a ventriloquist. I don't know how to spell it.
Yeah, ventriloquist, that's what it's called. That word, right? So what happens is God gave us the gift of being a ventriloquist of ourselves. There we go, puppeteer. You are your own puppet master. You have the ability to, oh, Lord have mercy. You have the ability to perform. You have the ability to control what it is that you speak. You have the ability to put on a show. But the thing is, you're the puppeteer and you're the master, right? So you got to be able to control yourself at all times, because if you don't, guess what? You'll be mindlessly flowing through the world thinking that you're thinking that you're being intentional. I guarantee you 95% of people are not intentional. Why? Because I encounter people all day, every day. I listen to them, I observe them, I'm watching them. And most people have put on the performance of being submissive to their excuses instead of being obedient to their obedient to the truth. You have to stop being a slave to the paradigm. You have to stop being a slave to the world. You have to stop allowing the world to control what it is that you say. I can have a conversation with one person tonight. I guarantee you they're going to give me 25 excuses. I found the averages. I've talked to enough people that I found that averages of excuses that come out of their mouth in an hour is at least 25. All right. But what if you were to counteract those excuses with faith, scripture, personal development? What if you were to override? What if, when there's a nuclear war, there's a button that has to be pressed? Do you guys understand that your words are the most powerful words on the planet, right? They are the most powerful thing that is in existence, because words have the power to activate nuclear bombs. Words have the power to activate war. So it's not, nothing takes effect without your speech, right? So your words are so powerful, guys. They can set off and destroy an entire country. Y'all really think about that. The bomb doesn't have a thought. The thought came from a person. That thought has creative substance. And then think about the person who ever built the cotton bomb, right? That's powerful. So you have to understand, for this simple reason, your words decree whether the weapons are going to be used or the weapons are going to remain latent. Nothing is moved without speaking, right? Without your words. Words may be used to order ships to go across the sea, lives to be hurt, so many things. But what if we grow a conscious awareness, family, to be able to take control of these words and plant seeds and give life and birth, truth, love, peace, and harmony, right? The tongue of the wise is health. We always hear this: death and life are the power of the tongue, right? Here is the key to using your words with authority, okay? You have to use them with authority and conviction. The words that you speak are spirit and life, all right? You put them things and back them up with a whole bunch of feeling. Guys, and we know that it works, because when we get excited about things, we be jumping around the house, right? You're excited about the new car. You're excited about the new career. You're excited about the new bonus. You're excited about the new relationship. Excitement backed by feeling. Your hands start sweating. Your heart start racing. We understand the power of those emotions. And that's what I was mentioning earlier, where your emotions can be constructive and destructive. But too many people have allowed the world to be their thoughts, okay? Too many people allow the world to think for them. So you got to ask yourself, how do you really know you are thinking? That's what you got to ask yourself. You know when you're thinking, when you're intentional about your desires. Your desires aren't just something that you are. I tell you, successful living is the person whose dreams are no longer on the shelf. Come on, B. Successful living, successful pursuit is the person dreams who are no longer sitting on the shelf. Okay? That doesn't mean that you're full, you just got to go and full out, go crazy, but you took them off the shelf and they're no longer collecting dust. Right? You can now see them. You put the images up. You have the vision environment. You have the goal cards, right? But then that's not enough. See, that's not even enough. Why? I need some water, Lord have mercy. Because what you got to do is now you got to get it to motion. I spoke about James. James 2 says faith and works, guys. Understand this. Please write this down and look at it a million times. Faith is not activated without action. It says it in the Bible. Hearer and doer. I don't care that you got faith. I want to see it in action. I don't care that you made a promise to me. Do y'all understand how many people promised me they would still be right here in this community? I'm going to be here till the wheels fall off. I'm going to be here. I don't want to hear that because it's not backed until it has action. All right. It's not backed until it has action. So we have to understand the power and the authority of our words. All right. You got to have it with the deepest feeling and know that your feeling is the real evidence. Come on, B. Your feeling is the real evidence of the spirit behind them alone, the creative substance. So when you tell me your goals, when you tell me your dreams, when you tell me your ambitions, guess what? I believe them when I see them through your feelings and through your words. And it's not, I don't have to believe them. It's just understand the law of vibration and attraction, right? See, when you are acting as if today, it activates the law of vibration. Attraction means I play the role. We have a young lady on the line, Nicole. She's an actress, right? She has to go out there and play these specific roles. But we as the entire race has to learn the mastery of acting. We have gotten to the point of being a puppeteer. We have gotten to the point where we no longer allow ourselves to control our outcome. We're not our own puppet masters. There's only one master, right? But he's given us authority on this plane and we don't even use it. Oh, you've been given authority and you gave your authority away from the very beginning. You don't even question your authority. You don't even backfire your authority. Why is it that I have to do this? Why do I have to go this route? Stop being submissive to authority you don't even validate, right? We do that too often. That is the culture. That is the norm. We've gotten so used to it being the norm that we no longer can, we never question it, right? But yet we give a million excuses as to why we're not happy and why we're not thrilled and why we're not joyful and why we're not excited every single day. Why? Right? So your words have the authority to bless. Your words have the authority to create. Your words have power, family. Don't sleep on it. How does it have power? Because I say this all the time. You can't stand nobody calling you and getting on your nerve. You can't stand nobody calling you with no drama. You can't stand your boss talking to you out of order. You can't stand people just generally disrespecting you, right? If you do not like people disrespecting you, drop some ones in the chat box or the comments. If you don't like people we never had that happen. When you have a passion for drama, when you have a passion for conflict, you have now, I found your identity. When you have a passion for drama, when you have a passion for conflict, you have found your identity. Your identity is that my words are used to destroy. My words are now self-inflicted. You have to be careful to understand. Like I said, if somebody is disrespecting you, you want to knuckle up. You might want to knuckle up, right? But did we ever wonder what happens when we have self-affliction? It's easy to see things on the external plane. It's easy to see, oh, this person think they can just talk to me in a kind of way, but they're only doing what you've been attracting. Oh, Lord, have mercy. You are what you attract. So what does that mean, be real? You may be in a space of where you're talking so negative day in and day out, so subconsciously, you don't even realize that it's negative anymore. You may be talking to yourself in a bad state of mind, your thoughts, those conversations that you have by yourself, right? That self-affliction. Why y'all think some people start getting into depression? People get into this low state because they're using self-afflicting terminology. And then it leads to what we know, right? I'm not going to speak it, but we know what it can also lead to. And we pray for those lives that had people, the people that dealt with their lives in that state, right? You have to understand that your words can become flesh family. They have the ability to transform into the living word. They have the power to manifest and understand when you are saying the wrong thing. And we got to really analyze our words because it's so easy to speak negative all the time. Okay. It could be so there are people that I cringe around because I'm like, Lord, I know they're about it. I found myself not liking to be around people a lot no more. I'm an extrovert like crazy. But the more I begin to understand how I speak to myself is how I realize I got to be in rooms where people have self-respect. So when I'm engaging in these conversations, I know that my mind, my spirit, that my flesh will not be taking a hit. Whew. I don't want to take hits. I don't want to take hits because you don't know you don't know self-love. You don't know your identity. I don't want your subconscious mind that you don't have control over to shoot me down. Not only are you having self-affliction, but you're shooting shots at me because your words have power. And if I believe that they have a presence in my life, I give them permission to override my thoughts and they begin to what? Take over my flesh and bones. You got to be careful of the rooms that you sit in. You got to be careful of the conversations that you're having with people. And you got to be careful of the words that you allow people to speak in your life. See, sometimes you're spending time with people you're allowing people to have too much time. They were supposed to have a 5-minute conversation with you. You gave them 3 hours of your day. You got to understand when people have a time limit in your life. Your living word works wonders. All right. You have to affirm it in your mind and believe that thing. Jesus said, Lazarus, get up out of that room, bro. Right? Get on up. Come forth. They on the boat rocking. AJ dog, bro. I know you down there asleep. I don't know how you sleeping real peacefully right now, but it's a storm outside this boat. Jesus proved to them 50 million times, I got your back, and they still didn't believe. Right? Calm the waters quick with his words. Y'all still got little faith. Calm down. Somebody drop calm down in the chat box. All right. You got to become entranced and fascinated by the power of your words. Listen, whether you believe this or not, I want you to give it a try. Because what I was about to tell you was when people pick up the phone and call you with drama, you don't want to hear it. You got to be careful that you got to be conscious of what you're speaking to yourself. What is your own drama when you're alone and quiet? What is the man in the mirror? What is the drama with the man in the mirror? What are the conversations with the man and the woman in the mirror? What are those conversations? See, that's where it all is rooted from. The only reason people are coming to you with drama is because you are, oh my goodness. The only reason people are coming to you with these horrible type of conversations and they feel like they can just come to you and speak any kind of way because you don't even realize you've already been speaking to yourself that way. And it's called law of attraction. You've only been attracting what you've been speaking. And so when you speak it, those vibrations go out and those people come back to you, right? So your words have authority. Never use the words of lack, limitation, discord, bad times, negativity, laziness, procrastination, limiting thoughts, disbelief. You got to begin to build a new body, a new environment, mental and material riches by changing your words and commanding wealth come forth. See, Jesus told Lazarus to listen, check this out. Jesus said, Lazarus, come forth. I need y'all to put on y'all Jesus demeanor right quick. I need y'all to posture up and put on your Jesus perspective right quick, because I now want you to be able to suit up, boot up, and say, wealth, come forth. Peace, come forth, right? Love, come forth. Wealth, come forth. Success, come forth. I need you to understand if Jesus can raise Lazarus from the dead, come on, B. If Jesus can raise Lazarus from the dead, I want you to understand what dead things are in your life that are dead, but that you want to give birth to. So you see, poverty may be in your life. Poverty may be what's Poverty may be what's living in your life, right? Poverty may be what's living in your life. So now let's tell wealth to come forth. There we go, Mr. Rashad. We got to understand what is living in our life so that we begin to understand what we need to tell to come forth. Some things have created a presence that we didn't consciously demand. Some of us are in a poverty-stricken or bad relationships, toxic relationships, just poor thinking. Sometimes it's not even things on the external plane. It's just ourselves. We don't speak well enough to ourselves, right? And so what begins to happen, family, is that we begin to develop this redundancy. Man, why is my bank account the same it was 12 months ago? Why am I still the same weight for 5 years? Why am I still dealing with the same poor relationship? Why am I still exhausted on this job? Why am I still? Because you've been calling the same thing forth by not calling anew. Woo! You've been calling the same thing forth to you because you've never called anything new. So if you never use this is what I'm saying, family. If you keep quiet, new things won't take presence in your life. And you can, and the messed up part about it is that when you do speak, you're just complaining. My goodness. So these things begin to live in your life because you never spoke, come forth. Isn't that crazy? You simply didn't tell it to come forth. It remained in your life like a freaking virus, a leech, a bacteria. It just kept spreading and spreading and spreading. Poor thinking, poor relationships, poor mindset, poor finance, poor health, poor everything, because you never spoke wealth in your life. You only complained about what you didn't want to remain. And when you complain about what you don't want to stay, you give it more power because our words create flesh and bone. So stop talking about the things you do not want. Right? It's that simple. If I get engaged in a conversation and I feel like I have to talk about things I don't want, I have to shut it down. I have to back up out of that thing. Back it up. Right? Understand, guys, how to affirm, how to back these things up with faith. And we really have to just gain a complete consciousness of our speech. It's so subconscious. You don't think about driving the car anymore. Okay? You don't think about using your cell phone anymore. Those things are so automatic. But what negative language in your life is so automatic, you don't even realize that it's still living, it's still spreading, and still breaking your body down. Right? Words are the most powerful drug used by mankind. God said he sent his word, and it healed them. Everyone can use healing words, right? But the reason we do not get immediate results is due to the nature of our belief and faith. You can speak and it not be backed by feeling. I can tell somebody I love them. Well, I mean, I mean that person, but you can tell somebody you love them and not mean it, right? It's going to come by you sending your word with that thought or feeling, okay? When you speak, you got to speak from a standpoint of infinite supply. Your words are true. They have power. They have to come to pass. You have to speak from a level of expectation. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God, right? Your thought is your word. Words represents the armory of your mind. Thoughts are things, and words have to come to pass. Your words are powerful. They can create, they can terminate, they can construct, they can do so many different things. Because think about it. If you begin to say, okay, let me take a step back and let me actually look at my life. What is it that I freaking want? Do I want a new home? What's the words we're using tonight? What's the 2 words? Now that I know I want a new home, what we saying now? What would you tell Lazarus? Somebody give it to me. Somebody give it to me. Give it to me. All right? Somebody gonna get it. It's gonna be Facebook or it's gonna be Zoom. Who's gonna give it to me? Now that you come forth, come forth. Wealth, come forth. You got to begin to fill in the blank. We use the words, God says, I am that I say I am. Guess what? Before I move on, you also have to understand there's other two words. I love the two word thing. I am. What follows the word I am for you? I am sick. I am tired. I am frustrated. I am exhausted. I don't know how to do it. I am. All of these words that follow the word I am become to be your identity. And the reason it becomes your identity, not only because you speak them, because you truly believe what you're saying. It's truly backed by feeling. When somebody says the word I love you, you know it's backed by feeling. You can feel it. There's an energy. There's a presence. So when you guys begin to tell your goals and your dreams to come forth, when your faith is so mature, you don't have to do all this. I'm going to be very might step on somebody's toes tonight. When you completely absorb that everything you want is already done and it's an expectation, there is no such thing as worry. There's no such thing as doubt. There's no such thing as, I don't know how to do that. I don't. All I know how to do is speak it, believe it, and act as if. That's it. Believe, speak, and act as if. Because what begins to happen is, what is the point of me having faith if I'm doubting the Creator? You can't be contradictive in your walk. You can't be contradicted. You either believe it or you don't. You can't have one foot in and one foot out the door, right? And if you truly believe, it's going to show up in your actions, right? It's going to show up in your actions. He doesn't do things just because you write it down, because you got the vision environment, because you got the gold card. No, oh shoot, I believe this person because they're showing me why I believe, right? Your faith has to be attractive. Right? Favor comes in when you're starting to do things. He's like, bro, she got to be crazy to believe in me. Right? She got to be crazy to believe in me. You giving your last in the offering plate. You got to be crazy to believe. Right? Let your words be filled with spirit. Pour life on them. Meaningfulness. Right? You will experience the result in the forms of experiences, events, and functions. You're crazy to think you can build an airplane. It's functioning. You're crazy to think you can send video and audio through the air. It's functioning. You're crazy to think that I was back then, the cell phone had a little spin around machine, right? You're crazy to think you can video conference me on this. You crazy to think you can do a Zoom call right now. You're crazy. That takes faith. Do y'all know who got some crazy amount of faith? I'm gonna throw somebody off right quick. Do you know that scientists have to have faith? Inventors have to have faith. They gotta have. Why? Because faith is believing that in my mind, what is in my imagination has to come into a physical matter. It has to come into a substance. What in the world why do you even have faith if you have doubt? How is that possible? Right? You gotta pick it, family. You can issue the words of command. My words heal, they quicken, they prosper, they satisfy, they make rich. All those things that I do business with, they make rich things. All things I make contact with. These words will cause your business to flourish and to prosper. Your words are your body of thought. Your words are your body of thought. Man shall decree a thing and it shall come to pass. What do you decree on your life today? What are you decreeing on your life for the next 12 months? What are you decreeing on your life? Your words are the mental equivalent, which produce their image and likeness in your experience. Learn to speak as one having authority. God made me in his image. He has authority. That means I have the authority to speak. He gave me dominion of everything on this plane. So why in the world? This is what happens when you don't spend time in identity. Listen, when you go buy a car, they give you a manual. When you go buy a car, they give you a manual. When you buy anything, they give you a manual. I guarantee you 95% of people either don't keep the manual or have never looked at it. and it gives them instruction, how to take care of the car, how to replace the light bulb, when to get an oil change, how many miles, what tires you should be having on your car. They were giving a book. The book came with commandments. That book came with instruction. That book came with wisdom. That book came with that book came with preventative measures. So there's a few people, such as my brother, who probably reads the book and knows it back to front. And they are prepared when the enemy shows up. They can't predict when the enemy may even try to show up. They know how to handle situations because they read the manual. They read the book. So what happens when a lot of y'all giving the devil so much complete permission, it wears me out. Oh, there's the enemy coming at me today. The enemy being busy. The reason he been busy because you called on his name more than you called on God. The enemy is saying, no, bro, just pick up the book and read the manual. You could have oh Lord, have mercy. Do you understand that you could have even prevented God from interceding on your behalf if you would have just read the manual? If you would have just read the book, I wouldn't have to show up. Oh my goodness. But what happens? Because you don't spend relationship, you don't spend time, you don't study. Some of y'all have the same level of faith that you had in 1999. You quote the same scriptures. It has the same definition. It has the same level of understanding. It has the same potency. But yet you're praying for bigger things and greater things to happen in your life, but you still have kindergarten faith. You've grown 12 years, but your faith hasn't. You have aged, but your faith hasn't aged. They say it gets sweet like wine, all right? They said wine gets better with time. You got to treat your faith the same way, family. So those things that you're commanding, come forth, come forth. Wealth come to me. Success come to me, right? Riches come to me. Joy come to me. Peace, happiness, self-love, self-control, compassion, discipline, right? Great attitude, responsibility come to me. You also have to understand they come with prerequisites. They come with prerequisites, and that means you got to study. See, when we look at different battery operating, when you look at a Tesla, when you look at the LS 500 from the Lex Squad, right? They are battery operated, right? When you look at little kitty toys or these different games, a lot of different devices are battery operated. But you can't use those AAA batteries in a Tesla. It ain't going no kind of pick up, right? The car may actually laugh at you if it could. What you guys have to understand is what is the level of your battery? What's the level of your battery pack? You can't keep living the same cycle over and over again. We got to gain a complete awareness, guys. Your words will produce the image and likeness that you experience. Learn to speak as one having authority. So what authority are you speaking over your life on tonight? Right? You can speak death. You can allow death to have authority over your life. I don't know if I can do it. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'm too sleepy. You're giving death authority over your life. I think I read something or I heard something. I don't know where it was at, but it said the person who stopped dreaming at the age of 35, who just lives a safe life, they are given. We pretty much have already celebrated their death at the age of 35. And they aged to 99. So from 35 to 99, they never lived. We already had the eulogy at the age of 35. Man says, God without vision perishes. So don't confuse existence for living. Your benediction happened when you stop having visions. Whew. Your benediction happened when you stop dreaming. When you stop living the dream and pursuing those dreams. Your words have to appeal to you. They need to fascinate you. They need to make you joyful. They have to take a habitation in your mind, right? Let your words flow from a standpoint of God and truth, family, and you will find harmony and joyous flow state inside your life. Your words are the most powerful drug, as I stated. Your thought and feeling are word. Your thought and feeling are word. Your words can cause, man, so many amazing things to happen in your life. Okay. Your words can make, so think about this. So what's this, 2021? We're in December of 2021. We're in December of 2021. Your words. I want you guys to even take some pen and paper. This is something that I'm personally doing. And I want you to give yourself a set of words that you have to say to yourself every single day. I want you to command. I want you to have a set of words. I don't want just to be a little gold card. Let's kind of move up from that phase. All right. Let's create. We already know God supplies our needs. We know our goals are done. I don't have to write that down anymore. What you have to, and that's what I was going to mention earlier. When you gain a complete consciousness and when you begin to see the key of affirmations, a lot of times that people don't understand, and the key of prayer and a lot of that things is to train people to actually create it as a subconscious thought. So the reason you're using these affirmations and saying these things a lot of times is because it's not your second nature yet. But when I begin to trust God and his authority and his will and his purpose over my life, and I'm have a complete peace and I live in that space, he knows the desires of my heart. I'm there now. All right. But now, if you want to create and implement new sayings and new words and begin to water down the negative stuff that we say to ourselves, I want us to give ourselves a new set of words, a new power prayer, right? Said a couple of times a day, right? Maybe you're praying for somebody else. Maybe you're praying for other people, right? This is one thing I used to say. I am wealthy. I am healthy. Abundant flows to me because of God. God sends wealth to me. I'm a provider. I'm a giver, right? God supplies all my needs and now I say, I don't have to read it no more, but God supplies all my needs in every single point of space in every moment of time. There is always a divine surplus. Now, I don't just say it because I know it, but I believe it. I've been tested to the fact that when there's a moment where maybe things go away, when things are empty, when there's nothing left in my lap, when there's nothing left in my account, whatever I may be facing, those words are my second nature. Those words, I have been tested now. And the tests are going to keep coming. Let me see if she can handle this test. Let me see if she can handle this test. Let me see if you can handle this test. Let me see if those words are still going to be your second nature, because some words have to pass every single test. A lot of times, more pressure has to be put on you to see which language, to see who you're going to call on. More pressure has to be put on you to see if you're going to still call on him, or you're going to call him, man, I can't even do it. I don't even know how to do it. I ain't got the money. I ain't got the bag. I ain't got the time. I ain't got the experience. I don't know how to do it. What is your second nature pressure point? Woo! What is your second nature pressure point? Right? People used to put, well, I don't used to, but in the war, they put those mines down there, and a certain amount of pressure has to step on those mines for them to pop off. All right? So what amount of pressure has to be put on you before you pop off and start speaking the wrong things? That's why you got to stay in relationship. That's why you got to read the book. That's why you got to keep growing. Yo, you know how people hold money to their ear? I got so many books. Listen, there's me. Bump the money, all right? Because guess what? There's two types of people. There's a person who can get rich and don't ever know how to get rich again. There's a person who can be wealthy, lose all the wealth, and get it right back in 2 years. Why? Because it's here. All right? Everything that you want in your life is not something that you get. It's something that you attract by the person that you become. For example, I wanted a good credit score this year. I had a 575 in February. Guess what I did? I started studying. I started asking questions. I started seeking the skills. I started seeking the information. There's two ways that you learn, and I love to say it. Two ways that you learn: the information that you get and the information that you seek. This is two ways. Most people stop at getting. Those who go above and beyond is because they seek not. And what do you say? You knock and the door will open, right? Seek and ask. God wants to give you an inheritance, family. You know how much he promised so many people in the book? Hey, listen, bro, you do this for me, I'm gonna give y'all all the land, your whole clan, the whole generation, everybody gonna eat. Yo, you do this for me, everybody gonna eat for 10,000 generations. Just do this for me. All right? Do you want to eat? That's what it boils down to. So understand the power of your words, family. It gets redundant. And the only reason it's redundant because you ain't got it yet. I realize that. And you ain't got it yet if it's redundant because you don't understand the true power yet. So understand that, okay? Be careful of what you put in your mind. Be careful of what you put in your heart. Be careful of the people you put around. And most importantly, be careful of those conversations that you have by your dang self. That's what's most important. Because people have to get permission from you for their words to take presence in your life. But you don't have to give yourself permission. You believe what you're speaking. So be careful that the enemy that you're giving all this credit to ain't you. Okay? Make sure the enemy that you're giving all the credit to, we're going into a whole new year. Y'all getting old again. Your bones going to creak some more. You're going to get another piece of gray hair in your head. You're going to lose a tooth. Guess what? Your faith has to remain. Your faith has to sustain. But it can grow. It can grow. How do we know it can grow? Last point. Jesus found 12 people. He was teaching them through parables. He was teaching them different words. He was putting them to the test so he could develop their faith. So don't tell me faith can't grow. Don't tell me faith can't develop. Because he kept asking, God dog it, y'all still don't believe? Good Lord. All right. So faith can be developed. But are you allowing it to be developed? Are you being put to this test? And let me tell you this, if you put yourself out there to really pursue your goals and dreams, guys, you're going to encounter the test along the way. But if you're trying to live this safe life, remember, we've given you your eulogy the day that you quit living your dreams. Whew. Wow. Your eulogy was done the day you quit living your dreams. All right. So please be mindful of that. So let's create a list of words or create a prayer or whatever it is that you want to say to yourself to create a new level of awareness, a new consciousness in our life. And like I said, when Jesus called Lazarus to come forth, matter of fact, let's make that our assignment. What are we calling to come forth in our life? Somebody drop it in the chat box. Are we calling for wealth, right? Are we calling for peace of mind, self-love, self-control, self-discipline, focus, consistency? Right? What do we call? We got wealth. What are we calling for? If I'm calling consistency for, I'm calling growth. I want to forever be a student. Facebook, what are y'all calling for your life in 2022? The year of two. Freedom, right? What type of freedom? Communication, relationships, career. There's all types of freedom, right? Freedom for your belly to breathe off that belt. What type of freedom do you want? What are we calling to come forth? So that's what we're going to do, family. That's what we're going to do. We got to identify what we want to come forth. So put on your Jesus posture and think about how he called Lazarus up from their dead, and think about what you want to come to life and call forth in your life. All right. That's what you got to identify. We got wealth, we have abundance, we have overflow, we have financial freedom, we have learning to stay focused. One thing I want everybody to call, we got degree is done. One thing I want everybody to call forth is the wisdom, the perspective of God. Woo! If you call that forth, if you make that your top priority, do you understand everything else falls into place because God created everything that y'all dropped in the chat box? It's so simple. Find that and prioritize that in your life. Wisdom and peace that surpasses all understanding. I promise you, you're going to start getting so much peace, you ain't going to even want to be bothered with folks. Right? You're like, man, don't you understand? You kind of get all eggy being around folks. Like, yeah, man, oh, they ain't got no happiness. I don't even want to be around them. Do y'all understand? People get upset when you happy. I don't have people cuss me out for being happy. Why you smiling all the time? Why are you so happy? I'm like, we ain't supposed to be doing that. What I do to you? You mad at me because I got a peace of mind? I done been cussed out for being a happy person. Anybody else been there when you happened before? Literally, you're always smiling. And then they think, I'm silly. I'll be roasting on folks all the time. Sometimes they be getting too conscious. I ain't talking about you this time. Thank you. All right? You are already from within. Let's go. All right? Well, let's clear. I declare it over your life, family. Continue to go for your soul. Listen, this is my goals. I wrote this down on November 18th. These are my 2022. This is just my goals. All right? But I definitely want to get them done within the next 12 months. And it's already done. When you guys write these goals down, you don't look at them and say, man, am I going to get this done? And you cannot allow the date, and we're about to be done. You cannot allow the date. I didn't put no dates on here. It don't even say 2022. It just say God supplies all my needs in every point of space and every moment of time, high income, high net worth, zero debt. I am a decamillionaire. I put all my goals and they got check boxes. I put the date. I wrote these goals down and I just act accordingly. Don't try to measure when it's supposed to happen. You may not be doing enough action for the date to happen. The promotion, the career, the job, the relationships. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Stop allowing linear time to be your biggest distraction. Man, it's been taking too long, man. Get that out of your mind. Write that down. Come for patience, come for it. Right? All right. But know what it is that you want, family. Okay. Know what you want. Write them down. Do this every quarter. I check my goals every 4 months. I check my goals, literally. All right. So check your goals. And if you didn't do it in the first 3 months, roll them over. They used to have that little thing on here, roll over minutes. Roll over your goals. If it's a goal, it shouldn't have a deadline. I don't think I heard it that way. There it is. If it's a goal, it shouldn't have a deadline. That's simple. Dang, that just helped me out a lot. I hope they help somebody on the goal. All right. If it's a goal, it shouldn't have a deadline. And freaking show up for your goals. All right. I'm trying to be done. All right. So show up, make a plan of action, be consistent, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. Some of you guys have been so busy planning, you never took action. Stop, get out of preparation mode. Get out of planning mode. He didn't say faith with planning. He said faith with works. All right. You're not a wedding planner. All right. Get to work. Take some action. Okay. Something. 5 minutes a day, y'all. Don't allow you trying to be an overachiever to put you in a position to neglect your goals. And I'm speaking from experience. Okay. Go in. Let's get it. It's the year of deuce. All right. It's the year of every single thing that God has already promised. Okay. I love y'all. What's our hashtag tonight? I heard it. I can't remember. I heard the hashtag tonight. What's the hashtag? We always do a hashtag when we're in these calls. What's the hashtag tonight from the notes? What we got? I'm looking at my goals. What's the notes? And put your goals all over the house. Get your picture frames. Put them in the garage. Put them in the living room. Put them in the car. Put them in the workplace. Put them in, I play the drums at church, put them on the church wall. All right? Put them everywhere. Put them in your spouse room, your kids' room. Attractive faith. Ooh, I like that. Attractive faith. I heard it though. I heard a word. I said something tonight. Y'all been saying it all night. Come forth, Moody. That's the word, bro. Come forth. The hashtag tonight, y'all hashtag it on social media. Tag me. Hashtag it on the team chats. And let's say come forth. Write down a list of everything you want to come forth in your life. Not a vision board, a vision environment, Miss Lady Sincere. A vision environment. A vision environment means you see it every single where you go. Every single where you go. It's in every room. You know, you want a new refrigerator. When I wanted my promotion last year, I had to go on the refrigerator door, the pantry door, the inside of the pantry, on the kitchen counter, on the steps, in the garage, in the bathroom mirror, the bathroom light switch, in the shower. I had them in the closet. I had them outside the closet. I had them on the back of the door, the front of the door, the room light switch. It was all I saw, and that's all I got. Peace and blessings, family. Y'all have a wonderful night. Please come forth. Let's go. Y'all take care. Facebook, thank y'all so much for tuning in.